Hi, this is Will with My Spiritual Clarity. Today's video is about clutter and clearing your clutter and the two main things that keep your clutter in place. This video will be most helpful for healers, coaches, and therapists, and especially for healers, coaches, and therapists who are experiencing less visibility than they'd like, less business growth than they'd like. They're not growing as rapidly as they would like, and they have a feeling there's something behind it. So what does all that have to do with clutter? Well, I made a video recently where I talked about how clutter is your reason to hide. It's the excuse, because as long as you've got a desk to clean up, or as long as you have that closet to clean, or as long as you don't have that marketing thing in your business figured out, you don't have to send that email or make that potentially unpopular opinion post that might get seen, or ask someone to buy your stuff and they might reject you. So that's the first main part of it. That's the main part that clients hire me for and they work with me in a private session, is to see that thing. Because once you see it, it frees up the energy. The second part is the ongoing process, which is a little more friendly for a DIY kind of video like this one that I'm making, but it's also something that I work with clients on long term, and it's also something we're going to cover in our upcoming workshop called Clear Your Clutter, coming on June 3rd. So what is this second piece? Well, the second piece is judgment. Every piece of clutter that you have, every piece of the mess that is weighing you down is there because of judgment. You have a judgment about it. It brings up a judgment, heavy, significant energy. It's not fun. You don't like it. So you go to clear off your desk and there's all those things that you should do. I just experienced this myself yesterday. I had 15 minutes that I booked aside to clear my inbox. So every new idea I have, I put in my inbox on my computer, and then I go and I clear that inbox and I organize it all, sort it all, and decide what I'm actually going to do and what I'm not actually going to do. Well, I go in there and there's three super important things right at the top that I didn't have time for right now, that I'm afraid that if I properly organize them that I won't get to them on time. So what did I do? I closed my computer and I just left them there, left them there at the top of my inbox. They're heavy. They're connected to people that I don't want to let down, judgment. Connected to things that I should have been able to finish up last week, self-judgment. They're like all of that heavy energy is there. So for you, when it comes to your physical clutter or in your business, if there are things that you haven't figured out yet or things you haven't done yet, and that's your clutter, the same process applies. I call these a blanket of shame or a blanket of should. So if every morning you wake up and you got 6 blankets of shame or blankets of should, BS, that are weighing you down, it's really hard to get into your day. So and then you pull them all off, and then you come to your day and half your energy for the day is gone. So you don't really have the chutzpah, you don't have that get up and go to get the difficult things done. That's what clutter does. It weighs you down, it's heavy. So what you need to do is, number one, identify what is that clutter keeping you safe from? What does not having those things figured out in your marketing or some other area of your business, what does that keep you safe from? As long as you don't have that figured out, what or who do you not have to deal with? What judgment or criticism do you not have to potentially receive? The second part is this judgment or shame. And how do you release that? What do you do? Well, you have to identify, where did it come from? So for example, when I look at things in my business, and I'll use a client example along with my own. I worked with a client recently and she said that she hates having people over to her house because it's messy. She's a very successful, very well-paid healer, but she doesn't want people over to her house because she's afraid of what they'll think. I have a similar thing, I realized. I made the first version of this video walking in the wonderful woods, but the leaves were too crunchy and the wind was too loud, so I'm re-recording. And in the middle of that video, I realized where my own stuff came from, because my aunt and uncle that I worked for growing up in their restaurant, they had so much figured out around business. And I realized 5 minutes ago that I have this shame myself around, if I don't have something figured out in my business, I should, because that's what real business owners do. So what is that area of clutter or mess? And then what is the judgment that's holding it in place? And where did it come from? Who does it belong to? Now that you can either run that process that I've mentioned many times before from Access Consciousness, props to them, where you say, okay, this judgment that I should already have this figured out. Who does that belong to? And you see who comes up. And then you say, great, that judgment I now return to sender with love and consciousness attached. And you let it go. Second thing that you can do is you can write out that specific belief, or judgment, because the judgment always points to a belief, because it's always, the judgment of, I should have this figured out. Well, that's actually a belief. The belief that you should have it figured out already. So there's who does that belong to? And then there is just destroy that belief at the point of creation. Okay, the belief that I should already have this figured out in my business. Would I be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? And then it's a yes or a no. Now, if you'd like some help with these processes, that's exactly why we're putting on our workshop. It's coming up on June 3rd called Clear Your Clutter. And there's going to be live time with me in the hot seat to identify this specific judgment or belief and clear it. And there's going to be live time with Carrie Thomas, who I'm partnering with from Conquer Your Clutter. And it's going to be an amazing workshop. So June 3rd is the full workshop, and with an early bird special on May 16th, we're having a 1-hour pre-work workshop, because I'm going to make a whole other video about this. Something that I've discovered myself and learned a lot about recently is you need time to ponder and kind of think about and ponder the change that you want to make. So having that pre-work workshop gets the gears turning, and then roughly 2 weeks later, we have the full workshop so you can get a much deeper impact out of the work. So I'm going to put the link below. We'd love to see you there. Spots are limited to, we're only taking 20 people, and 2 have registered so far. So we'd love to see you there. I'll put the sales email or the sales website down below. Also, please like or subscribe to this video. I would really appreciate it if you do like it and if you do want to subscribe. Have an amazing day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye for now.